Hello and welcome to the Battlebots. Do you remember when I talked about Axel? Well, its team had another robot, the robot it's better known for. I know, which is to be this week's subject. I can promise you lots of fights and precisely one teaspoon. The original Ionor was a tracked yellow wedge-shaped Axebot that made its debut in Series 4 of Robot Wars, finding a home in D where it drew Spinner Mazikari and Lifter Stroke Axebot Mortis. Truly, Ionor was the odd name out here. Ionor was the last robot to enter the fray, but that was because Mortis went after Ionor after it sent Mazikari to Sergeant Bash. As Mortis sent Mazikari to Sergeant Bash. Mortis sent Ionor to a wall, where Ionor got stuck. Ionor eventually got free and landed an axe blow on Mazikari. Then Ionor ended up out of focus as Mortis introduced Mazikari to the house robots. Sakilot then spun a poorly Ionor around, and as time ran out on the fight, both Mortis and Mazikari ended up on their side somehow. Ionor got through. Just. Mazikari was the one to go out. Next up was 7th seeded flipper Steg 2. It took a little while for anything to happen, but Ionor managed to land an axe blow before Steg 2 flipped them. Ionor then self-righted, the first time an Axebot had successfully managed to do so. That's right. Not Dominator 2, not Mortis, not Kilotron, not Kilohertz. Ionor. And believe me, Kilohertz tried its little robotic heart out against Chaos too. Not saying the others didn't. In fact, Dominator 2 had yet to have a fight aired. But, yeah, Ionor was the first. If you can't be the only, be the first. That's what I say. No one can take that away from you. Ever. Anyway, Steg 2, unimpressed by Ionor's feat, went for the flip again. Ionor landed on its tracks, and attacked Steg 2 too. Ionor missed an axe blow, and Steg 2 tried to flip Ionor over, but had more success pushing Ionor into walls. Meanwhile, the pit opened. Steg 2 flipped Ionor again, and Ionor self-righted. Unfortunately, Ionor got stuck with dead metal, and Shunt, and Sakilot. But not Matilda. Steg 2 flipped Matilda. Anyway, Ionor ended up an axeless one because Sakilot went along with its little incident. Sakilot has form in this area. Just ask Weldor's team and later Gabriel's team, who both lost weaponry to Sakilot's. Time ran out on the battle, and the judges recorded. They ruled in favour of Steg 2. At least there was a celebrity special, which took proceedings to Albert Square, as the celebrities attached to both robots were in fact in EastEnders. I think they might still be in EastEnders. EastEnders is not my soap. I have watched soap operas in the past, or a soap opera. That soap opera was Neighbours. Yeah, you know, the one that got axed a week or so ago. Well, it finished. It got axed, and its last episode aired just over a week ago. Closer to 2, actually. Anyway, out of soap landing into robots fighting with soap people attached. Ionor got to fight pyramid-shaped cutting disc wielder Pussycat. Ionor got L plates on and a number plate. No, really. Ionor did not get off to a good start, ending up on the wrong end of a few Pussycat's attacks. Ino's temporary driver for this fight, Natalie Cassidy, finding out that robot driving is a lot harder than it looks. Trust me, it is. It just looks easy on screen. It landed one exploit. Pussycat's attacks and a flattening of a battery basically killed Ino, so Ino ended up upside down on the flame pit without an axe and pitted, and the number plate ended up in pieces as well. So, after an Axor type of diversion in which Axor ended up on the wrong end of a monster really big cheese flip and ended up in another dimension, Ino 2 returned for Series 6. It's now more of a box, a bit flatter, but still yellow, had a face, an axe and a flipper, but no tracks. Wheels this time. Ino drew 5th seeded flipper Chaos 2, cutter, Stewie Cutter, Destructor, and cutting disc wielding grammar Mighty Mouse. Which is not far from where I'm recording actually. The team, Ino's team had always wanted to fight Chaos 2. Personally, that could veer into be careful what you wish for territory. Ino targeted Destructor so early on, managing to put a hole in the barrel-shaped bot. Chaos 2 flipped Destructor pretty much at the same time. Tag team. Chaos 2 never did tag team Terror, and I've seen all of Chaos 2's fights on TV. However, once Axor got its axe free and before it could do anything else, Chaos 2 flipped Ino out of the arena. Yeah, now I see why Chaos 2 didn't do tag team Terror. It works alone. Also, Chaos 2's team were worried about Ino 2's axe. Chaos 2 was vulnerable to axes and overhead weapons in general. So, I can see why they immediately went for the one that was the biggest threat to it. However, that meant that Team Ino's wish to fight Chaos 2 definitely was a case of be careful what you wish for, you might just get it. So, out went Ino 2, its team contemplating the merits of attaching little wings to their robot. They decided flying out of the arena was not their idea of happy fun times. The next step was the Challenge Belt tournament in Extreme 2, where everyone was fighting for the right to face belt holder's Tornado. If you think this sounds a little bit like Battlebots Bounty Hunters, congratulations! You have the right idea! Interestingly enough, one of the bounty hunters in Bounty Hunters last time round in 2021 was Beta, which is related to Axbot Terahertz, one of Ino 2's opponents in the first round. Also, the Beta bracket contained a full-body jump spinner. Here in the Challenge Belt tournament, that full-body jump spinner that was in the tournament, in the Challenge Belt tournament that is, Barbaros 2. Spoilers, Barbaros 2 did not share the Axe Backwards' fate. Axe Backwards basically got tetanus and died. That is no danger here, as the fourth robot in the fight was Vertical Spinner Vader. Again, I am actually really glad I can talk about one of Vader's fights without having the Darth Vader voice. For those who have not seen Vader's episode, I was in the midst of an absolute stinker of a cold that basically forced me to talk by a whiteboard for most of the time, and I could not talk with a whiteboard during the video it would be the most boring video ever. You wouldn't want to watch me just writing. Anyway, off with that tangent and back to actual fighting. Anyway, Ionos 2 still didn't have wings. Iono 2 went for terahertz early on, managing to get a flick in with the flipper. Barbaros 2 then attacked, flipping Iono 2 over, but Iono could still self-right with that axe. And it got pinned near shunt by Barbaros 2 and Vader. The meanies, the pair of them. Also, there was an angle grinder in the way as well. Come on. Still, Iono did get out, without getting counted out immobile, and helped terahertz put some holes in Barbaros 2. Got a team up with an axe. Barbaros 2 started leaking ominous smoke. Terahertz opened the pit. So Iono 2 axed Barbaros 2 until its axe actually managed to get stuck. Whilst trying to free itself, Iono flipped itself over, and with Barbaros attached to it, couldn't self-right. Meanwhile, Vader got counted out and removed from the arena. Thanks for that, Matilda. Iono 2 and Barbaros 2 did manage to get separated, thanks to Iono 2, but neither were actually moving, and in the position Iono 2's axe was in, it could not self-right. So terahertz pitted Barbaros 2. The judges were called in. They deemed that Barbaros 2 had in fact died first. So, Iono got through. Iono 2, that is. And got Danton Kia, a flipper which had flipped Hypnodisc out of the arena. How dare it? Iono 2 got caught by the arena spinner early on, allowing Danton Kia to attack from the sides. After trying to axe Danton Kia, Iono 2 ran away, but not far enough. Danton Kia flipped Iono 2 out of the arena. Oh, for the wings of a dove, Iono 2. Anyway, Iono 2, or it was not 2 anymore, it was Iono 2.1 when it returned for Series 7. What's wrong with 3? Anyway, Iono 2.1 did not have little wings on. It entered the axe attack. Got home for a robot that is primarily an axe bot. The flipper was a secondary weapon in the original series. And fought Axebot Cat 3, or was it for an Axebot? And Axebot Lifterbot Hydra. All hail. Unable to decide on a target, Iono 2.1 ended up on the wrong end of a Hydra attack. Cat 3 decided to make a target of Iono 2.1 too, but Iono 2.1 axed them instead. Not liking this decimal. Not liking this decimal at all. Why didn't you just skip to 3? Iono 2.1 escaped an axed Hydra, which just got Hydra mad, and Hydra shoved Iono 2.1 around the arena. Meanwhile, Cat 3 died. It just died. It went foot and died. That didn't stop Iono 2.1 and Hydra from prodding it. Of course, Hydra then resumed tour guide duties. Iono 2.1 got axed by Shunt as well, before trying to flip Cassius Chrome. A worthy endeavour. Hydra flipped Shunt, showing Iono 2.1 exactly how attacking a robot is supposed to be done, before shoving Iono 2.1 around the arena again. Well, Iono 2.1 escaped and hit Cassius Chrome. Hydra freed Iono 2.1, and both of them teamed up against Cassius Chrome as the ref bot hit the pit release. Hydra accidentally drove in as the pit went down. So that meant INO 2.1 win the Axel attack. You were so lucky, INO 2.1. You were so lucky. But they needed a break, really. I mean, after the last two wars, after the need of little wings, they needed a break. Come on. I don't begrudge them that. Anyway, in the Series 7 run proper, INO 2.1 landed in Heat O, where it drew Horizontal Spinner, Disconstructor, Flipper, Hammerhead 2, Voice Box and all, and Wedge struck Vertical Spinner, Xenomorph. Sorry, I haven't seen Aliens, so I'm still not entirely sure about the pronunciation of that one's name. INO 2.1, I think, meant to go after Disconstructor or Hammerhead 2, but ended up attacking the F-bot. After getting hit by Disconstructor twice, INO 2.1 flipped Hammerhead 2, followed by Xenomorph. Disconstructor then opened the pit and successfully pitted Disconstructor. INO 2.1 then axed Hammerhead 2 before righting it. INO 2.1 then targeted Xenomorph. Xenomorph? How is it pronounced? Axing and flipping it every so often. Then when Sir Killalot was busying himself with an attack on Xenomorph? INO 2.1 tried to flip Sir Killalot. It didn't work. Sir Killalot landed back on his tyre tracks. Sir Killalot did not have tyres. But points for effort. So Sir Killalot, who was now mad, tried to get revenge, but INO 2.1 was that none of it. Oh, no. INO axed Sir Killalot. As you do, it actually axed the blinking eyes of Sir Killalot. Ow! Anyway, his time ran out. INO 2.1 annoyed Xenomorph, and the judges recorded. INO 2.1 went through with Hammerhead 2, of course. Next up was fourth seeded Flipper, Bigger Brother. That's a rough draw with INO's reputation for flying. And at some point, we're going to need the Flight of the Valkyries for INO's flights and Axel's flight. However, Team INO had fought Bigger Brother on the fledgling live circuit. In fact, INO had actually beaten Bigger Brother before. INO 2.1 missed with an axe attack, but got flipped 3 times. And the third flip landed INO 2.1 on its wheels. The two briefly danced around each other before INO 2.1 flipped Bigger Brother out of the arena, which was the cue for INO's driver to do a happy dance, as one should when one finally proves, hey, we got a flipper, we can flip people out of the arena too. We don't always get flipped out. So, obviously, this is why INO 2.1 didn't have the little wings. The plan must have been to make sure everyone else needed the little wings. The reward for all this was a heat final against Full Body Spinner Typhoon 2. Some reward. INO 2.1 took its time getting to Typhoon 2, which allowed the Full Body Spinner to get up to speed. That's not brilliant. So the first hit caused INO 2.1 to spin around, and I think it was something like a 720 spin there. And the second just tossed INO 2.1 aside. INO 2.1 tried to axe Typhoon 2, but missed. Typhoon 2, being so slippery, helped nobody but Typhoon 2. And Typhoon 2 mangling INO 2.1's flipper definitely didn't help. Another hit basically killed the flipper. Typhoon 2 then chased INO 2.1 into the pit release tyre, which it trashed the Vandal, opening the pit. INO 2.1 got hit some more. One hit nearly pitting INO 2.1, but to their great credit, INO 2.1 did not drive in. One more hit confirmed that INO 2.1 was dead, and that was probably the reason why it did not drive into the pit, because it was gone. So after shunt taxed INO 2.1, it was counted out and placed beneath the drop zone. A cooker landed on it. The cooker fared worse. See, there are some merits to being flung out of the arena. You don't get trashed like this. You're safe from house robots. They can't attack you when you're in the moat. You're safe there. It's not all bad. Anyway, it was another 12 years before Robot Wars returned. INO did actually manage to get to INO 3, 4 and 5, 6 even, and 7. And INO 5 won the UK Championships twice in 2008 and 2010, and rightfully got into the Robot Combat Hall of Fame in 2009. And part of the reason why it got in was because INO 5 flung robots out of the arena. They managed 5 in one fight. Not once, but twice. That's pretty impressive. So evidently they've gone for the robot that got flung out of the arena to be the robot that makes sure everyone else needs the wings. And that wasn't enough to get INO 5 into Series 8 of Robot Wars. What did they have to do? However, INO 6 got in Series 10. INO 6, it was a pretty different to the original INO. Again, both had the fact that they were a wedge in common, but gone was the axe. Long gone was the axe. It was now purely a flipper. And they brought entanglement devices as well, because Series 10 you were allowed them. They landed in Heat D, where they drew clusterbot horizontal spinners, the kegs, made out of a beer keg, hence the name, and vertical spinner Tauron, which contained no beer kegs. I predicted INO 6 to come second in the heat. Let's see if I was right. INO 6 went after Tauron early on, only for Tauron and one of the kegs to make a mess of one of the entanglement devices. Tauron attacked INO 6 before the flipper had to escape the kill lot. Once INO 6 escaped, it prodded and poked at Tauron. Tauron elected to run away and break one of the kegs' weapons. I mean, it came clean off. One keg then sent a kill lot on a rampage. Tauron then killed a keg. However, in the meantime, INO 6 was on the wrong end of Sir K's rampage. After that, Tauron and INO 6 ended up in a pushing war. One INO 6 was winning. Then INO 6 got stuck. Tauron, assuming that INO 6 was in fact dead, stopped moving. But INO wasn't dead, it was still alive. So Tauron was the one counted out, and INO 6 was the one judged to have won. So it got through, straight through to the semi-finals. No robot redemption for them. And they had a non-functional flipper as well. That's why there's no talk of them flipping. They didn't. They couldn't. Next up in the semi-finals was Drum Spinner Concussion. My predicted heat winners. Heat D was a really bad heat for me. INO 6 and Concussion had a head-on collision before Concussion got a flurry of hits in, and the last one flipped INO 6 over. And much as the team tried to get the flipper to work, it wasn't having any of it. So INO 6 could not self-right. He got attacked by dead metal, got cooked, and counted out. So that meant it was time for the third, fourth place playoff. Winner gets into the 10 robot grumble and the glorious chaos that will ensue there. However, Andrew 4000, the crusher that INO 6 got, was also now without its weapon. Basically, its hydraulics broke in battle. They got sniped. So, no one had any weapons. A pushing war ensued, and INO 6 proved that, okay, flipper's not working, but we still got a lot of pushing power. And it was winning that pushing war. Andrew 4000 got sent to Matilda, and a dodging war ensued as both robots tried to find an angle of attack. INO 6 sent Andrew 4000 to Matilda before opening the pit. INO 6 then elected to pit Andrew 4000. It was the only way anyone was going to win the fight. However, twice INO got hit by Matilda. Both hits could have taken INO 6 out. But INO 6 did manage to pit Andrew 4000 in the end with not much time left in the battle. So, through to the 10 robot rumble and the glorious carnage. But would INO 6 end it with glory? In the 10-way rumble, INO 6 faced Axebots Thor and Terahertz, Jump Spinner's Concussion and Sabretooth, Angled Spinner Expulsion, Vertical Spinner Big Nipper, Flipper's Eruption and Apollo, and Tracked Crusher Traction. Look, I told you. See what Concussion in the 10 robot rumble? Heat D was a bad heat for my predictions. Just wait till you see how my third place prediction did. INO 6 nudged Eruption as Thor opened the pit. Expulsion were first in, which happens when you paint your robot arena floor grey, complete with a little flex in the arena floor as well. Camouflage backfired. INO 6 annoyed Sabretooth and got mixed up with a few other bots before setting Secure on a rampage. Whoa, hang on. But before it did, it had unleashed the Fog of War twice. Or Fog of War once. Concussion unleashed it a second time. And Traction ended up in the pit. However, sending Secure on a rampage was a bad idea for INO 6. As much as... because, well... Secure probably hadn't forgiven. If robots could forgive, Secure would not be the forgiving type. Especially given that INO 2.1 axed Sakei's light up eyes out. So after all that time, Sakei's gonna want revenge, and it took it. Anyway, INO 6 unleashed more Fog of War, only for that to backfire as well. INO got taken out by the floor flipper, landed upside down, and the flipper, once again, was not working. So Concussion pitted them. Concussion then followed INO 6 into the pit, though there was a little gap between the two. It wasn't Concussion took itself out, Thor took out Concussion. Thor wanted revenge for Series 9, and it got it. It is a very real shame that INO's live event form never got seen on TV, because on the live circuit they are legends. If you want to see INO 6's true capabilities, Go look up the 2019 UK Championship. I promise you, you won't regret it. Get popcorn. I'll wait. They deserve far better than having just the one heat final to their name. Someone, please, resurrect Robot Wars again, let Iron Ore in. It'll be either 6 or 8 will get in. And just, please, Iron Ore 6 needs we TV audience, the folk who don't always see the live circuit, need to see what Iron Ore is truly capable of. However, YouTube is your friend. So now we appeal to Taiki. Taiki, please, please be kind. What have we got? We've got this one, which is, oh my, the Executioner. Well, see if anyone gets executed. Any robots, that is, not people. Until next week, Callison244, out.